Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your Daily Bite of Degen, episode number 484. We are just going to be having some fun tonight playing Bravo Ready 1 and some trade checks. So first off, what we wanted to do is we wanted to pull out our regular tab and just go through some of that trades that we had shown you yesterday, see where they're doing. I've got notification that a couple of them are actually out of place, so that means that we get to show them, show what it is like to reorder a trade and stuff like that. And when I say reorder, move it back into position so that you're earning yield on it. And so I think they were the Orca ones that were out of play. So this is what we are. There we go. And we're going to connect our wallet. Oh, we got to reload. Safety first. Reminds us. Got to pull that trigger again. So no, we don't need, but how is your Saturday going? Are you off to a good start today? What have you been up to? I admit that. I see you there. Super thanks for joining us. I'm glad you joined. We are just going to be doing some, like I said, trades on Solana because that's the funnest place to do trades right now. And then at the same time, we really wanted to sort of help out with everything that's going on in helping Solana dexes overthrow Ethereum. And as we've seen, I think yesterday, Jupiter overthrew Uniswap, $1.9 billion to $1.4 billion in trades. So Solana's all the heck for right now, but someone said it really best the other day, where Ethereum is just a whole bunch of communities that sort of, my community is better than your community, but they're all living on ETH. They don't really talk about that. You see a huge difference with Solana based communities. Everyone's like, we're on Solana, so Solana is the community, and then there's the separations within there. So I just wanted to say that I actually can sort of see that. We hear of ETH maxis and Bitcoin maxis and Cardano maxis. I don't know why. I don't know why. No, I don't know why. But at the same time, it's it's okay. So we put in this, as you can see, we've let this ride for about 24 hours. We've had some up and downs. I think it was around $180 total through all the different pools. But in 24 hours, we've earned $3.53. And so we're actually going to harvest that. And so there's a couple things that you can do when you're harvesting. You can either compound those back into the pool, and that's if you're not really worried about immutable loss or impermanent loss. And impermanent loss is when your tokens go too far to the left or to the right. So if you have too much of X token versus too much of Y token, you might lose some of those tokens. And if a trade in concentrated liquidity where you're trying to pick a very narrow price range for trades to happen, if it goes outside of the range, meaning it costs more tokens, more token X to buy Y, then you're only going to have X. If it becomes less tokens to buy and it goes out of range, meaning those tokens are worth more, then you're going to have the other side of the pair. And so we're going to check real quick. So we have three pools that are out of range. Our Samo, Dog with Hat, Whiff, yeah, so we can sort of see what happened there. So with Samo, current price is 0.02 cents per Samo, and we had actually done 0.01 to 0.24. So that's good. Price has gone up. That means we only have USDC. So if we withdraw, as you can see here, we have only USDC because we narrowed in that position. So what we're going to do is what Orca allows is to just burn an NFT, get one full side back of our liquidity position. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reset our liquidity position again in a narrow field so that we're getting the best price action. So as you can see here, we'll head back over, and that was the SAMO USDC pool right there. We're going to do a custom range on that, and we're going to make that back forth so that you can see right here it's currently 2.8 cents per SAMO. That's, I remember when I had millions of SAMO. I wish I still had those millions of SAMO. Oh well. But what I like to do is within a 10% range on both sides, and that gets me into a right over 20. That brings me right into a 20x leverage. It should. Let's go. Oop. There we go. So that leverage brings me into 20x leverage, and I'm earning 12% per 24 hours. Now, if you remember right, I only had USDC. One of the really cool things with Orca is their auto liquidity router, or zapping, that we know in like the Ethereum world. So we can see here how much SAMO I have and how much USDC. Now, if I were to just throw it all in, it's $17, and that's comparative. Now, if I deposit match it, I would go up another $10, but I'm not going to deposit match. I'm going to leave it right here. Actually, screw it. You only live once, right? So what this does is it's going to trade 185 SAMO for $5 worth of USDC, and it's going to make this trade balance for me at a 48 to 51% ratio. Sometimes what happens a little bit, and we can see here that price has changed a little bit, so we're going to confirm that deposit. And so we're going to cancel that. So what happened there is price moved. So that's what we have. We have now 27.57. We're going to confirm that deposit. Yeah, man, price is moving. This is a good thing, right? It is. So we're just going to make this an even 27, so we don't have to worry about dollars and cents. That leaves us a little bit of USDC and a, what is going on here? We have enough SAMO. We have enough USDC. And we're going to go in for this. Wook, GM, Wook, I see you. How are you doing today, sir? I hope that you're having a good one. So yeah, it has been another day. I hope that you're having a good day as well. So let's see here. Let's get this trade in. So usually having to force trade pieces usually just takes a little tinkering sometimes. It's usually if you're going too far out in a decimal place, it doesn't like that. If it goes out of range, especially if there's some price movement. So yeah, so there's price movement. So what we're going to do here is we're going to reset. We know exactly where we want our SAMO and USDC. So we're going to go right back to that. And now we don't have to trade it all. So we know exactly where we're at. So as we can see, the price actually has gone up on SAMO a little bit. So that's always a good thing. Way less wine tonight. Hey, Gary V Wine, I hear, is the primo. So I'm glad that worked. And yeah, you are welcome for the drip link. Drip is pretty awesome. I hope that you find some really cool artists there within the Drip Clubhouse. Obviously, I'm sure like Soul Jakey's in there. Degen Poet. So some cool stuff is in there, and then like bad. There's just so many cool different things coming out within Drip House. So all right, so we picked our range. We got our 20x leverage that we want because we're doing such a narrow price range. We're gonna go straight in, confirm deposit, and I do alerts for this position, so I actually get text messages. Something really cool. They can do Telegram messages, they can do email, they can do text message, and I like to just get text messages so I know when I'm out of position. And now my deposit's complete. So now we're back into, as you can see, our portfolio is actually up because we repositioned that. And so we're going to reposition our Samo and Soul, and we're going to reposition our whiff, dog with hat. So we're going to do our dog with hat first. So as you can see here, current price, is 3081 and 482. That is our range, and we'll see. And so it's just outside of our range. So that means that it's gone up in price too. So dog with hat, thank you for going up, sir. Oh yeah. Actually, dog with hat's gone down in price. I apologize. People have been selling their dog and taking my soul. That, I don't know if you can say that anywhere else. We just say some of the weirdest things in blockchain, and just like, yeah, someone sold all their dogs and took all my soul. I don't really know. We're gonna make it. Yeah, I don't know. We got to come up with new verbiage that's not going to scare people away. Especially when people say stuff like "ride that green dildo." These are not words for children, sir. But we all know what it means. We like to have fun. I don't know if you've been playing around with any AI stuff. I've been playing around with Grok a little bit, having some fun. And I took the the hot shot chance to see what Grok thought of me if I asked it to roast me. And it really it was sort of hilarious. It made some comments about my jet setting lifestyle, and it says yep, dog stole your soul. Makes sense. Yeah. So Grok said that people who talk about big jets have little tacos. I loved that burn so much. But then it also sort of went off on that I'm trying to turn everyone into degens with my GM squared verbiage. And then Grok ended the statement with a taco a day keeps the degen away. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Does that mean like if you give me a taco, I don't bug you or harass you, and I just stay in my corner, my nook in front of the screens, and I don't leave? Or I don't know. It's sort of an interesting piece. So what AI pieces have you been playing around with? I've been doing some cool stuff with Wolfram, which is a Chat GPT-4 plugin. No Gronk shit on you, bro. Yeah. So Wolfram plugin basically gives all of the rules of physics to my AI agent so that I can ask it to build me a warp drive. Yeah. No, I don't really think that the AI can be a hater. I think what it does is what's really funny is it probably takes a lot of lessons from other people. Anything, it's going to take in is this good or is this bad? And so it will find out funny things. But I get you, Wook. I got you. Thank you. So because I wanted to figure this out right, I got us dog with hat and my soul. We're going to earn 69% yield in the next 24 hours on this at a 22.82x leverage. So that means that our little measly dollars, because we're in such a narrow range, have a little bit more power. The 22x. So if I was putting in $1, it'd be like I had $22. And the reason that that can be risky is because you're in such a narrow price range, you can get out of it really fast. And that means you're not earning any trading fees because you're out of position. And if the price dumps or if it goes up, you're going to only have one side, and no trade action is going to be happening within your window. So you're not participating in any of that. On top of everything, let's see here. We're going to be putting in a straight 14. We're just going to put in $14 even. And call that. Yeah, we'll call that. Right? No. 150. Yeah, that looks better. Dog with hat. The reason why I did that is because I didn't want to put in all my dog tokens. I want to keep some, and that's one of the things that when you're harvesting, you can either compound back into your pool, meaning if you're getting a little bit of trading action from both sides of the pool, if you want to add that in so that you have a bigger chunk of the pie, so to speak. That is what that is for. So once again, as you can see here, these moves, just rebalancing our position, has put us, brought us from $180 up to $196. So that's from harvesting our positions and rebalancing our pools. And so this can be something that is a stable piece, especially if you're doing like like B Soul to which is to Jito Soul. So that way they're earning basically the same interest. So they run at like a 1-to-1 ratio. So you're not really losing out. You're getting stake Soul on either side. So yeah. So all right. So here we are actually in position with the Blaze. Where are we out of position? Samo and Soul. So once again, more dogs out of. Why is this dog out of position? All right, let's see. Let's wait for this to connect. So, what has been the things that you guys have seen on Twitter today? What's some of the stuff? We obviously we've seen some interesting videos coming out of DC. So that's that. More scandalous there. And you can be mad, but at the end of the day, someone's just trying to have fun. What really gets to me, and this is the only thing that gets to me, is where it was done. Go do whatever you want. Privacy of your own home, privacy of places, even other public places, but that was like, who knows? I'm not even going to talk on it anymore because it was, yeah. But if you guys see it, please be mindful that there is graphic nudity in it, and it is, but there's some weird stuff going on, Look, I see that you jumped and joined us from YouTube all the way over to the Twitters, GM. So yeah, boom. Let's bring you on up stage while we finish these last trades and then go play stupid video games that we lose at.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining.
Dude, I don't know anything about the political shit. I wasn't really watching the news today, but I had some questions. These are all like proof of stake pools, right? That like the funds are like value lock on Solana for purposes of like the bandwidth or whatever? Is that how that works?
No, so trading pairs, so that there's liquidity for people. The more liquidity, the deeper the liquidity, the cheaper the slippage, like the better price that you'll get. You'll get closer to $1 for $1's worth type of thing. And the concentrated liquidity allows people to either just do a custom range of like, hey, I'll take any action in this range, or they can do expert mode, like custom, and they can set the price range of where they want to trade in. So I will only sell my token in that price range. And what that allows is for either auto routing. So like, let's say I have, Samo and Sol, but then Samo is also only paired to Blaze. And so I want to go from Blaze to Sol. So auto routing will go Blaze to Samo, Samo to Sol. Now, as long as there's liquidity on both sides, I will get as close to $1 on both sides as possible. As price goes up, the liquidity shift can move a little bit. But I'm basically providing funds for people to trade. But
between those two chains.
But no, between those two tokens, yeah.
So that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And then the reward factor for me is I'm rewarded. I get a percentage of every trade, based on the percentage that I have within that pool, or within that price range, actually, because they do it in tranches, and so I can set that price range, and it allows me to have I only want to, if it goes too far out of whack, I don't want to lose money, or if I don't care which token I have, I can set a wide price range so I get a little bit of action. And so, yeah.
It's all about the squeeze, Taco.
It's all about the squeeze, but what it does is it allows other people to trade their token, without, and getting them closer to that, the dollar for dollar trade. So, $1 worth of Samo for $1 worth of Sol.
Exactly. I'm getting it. And you're in on the trade itself as far as gas fees or whatever.
Yeah. So no, outside of gas fees, there's like slippage.
That's what I again, with the misspeaking to I'm sorry to the audience, but that's what I just meant. Is like it's the fees associated with the trades that are on your bit of the pool.
Yes. Yeah. And so I get of my percentage. So how I don't really know what my percentage is. It's not much because I'm going in with like $10, $15. But by doing this, I've turned $7 into $200 just by diversifying and recompounding, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's about the squeeze. I know we touched about it last night, but I fuck with a few of this NFT collections, and I do the NFT 5, and it's exactly that, right? I just keep compounding. I keep rubbing the same salamis together to get just more salami. It doesn't really matter for me, price go up or price go down. It's really like, am I trying to make entry into these collections, or or do I feel like it's just a no-brainer? Because that's the other thing too, is sometimes they get these gnarly LTVs that are way up in the 90s, above 80, and it's really trying to get yourself an entry into one of these collections. Whereas other things, it'll never even come close. So it's just somebody, loosening up some liquidity temporarily, and then you get a little bonus for it. So I just like that about the way to tangentially invest into the things that I'm already kind of want to get a hold of anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Yeah, no, and this is sort of it's like that
It's
in a
very
way.
similar strategies.
Yeah,
Just more of the technical side.
yep.
From my perspective. Yeah, I'm not trying to shill Sharky on
Oh,
you.
dude, I love Sharky. I got to meet the team at NFT NYC at that final party. You know, got to meet the Raposa team. You know, some of the Nakazuma team, Infected Mob, but that's when I got turned on to Sharky. And so you know how in Sharky you can provide liquidity, you can put sold down as well, that you know, for a bid, and or into the liquidity pool for lending out and stuff like that. That is this is sort of like that. And you know how you get that little bit of interest on that? This is the same thing.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. It feels very similar to that.
Yep.
I do that a little bit as well. The other thing, like I guess for just conversation's sake, I don't really understand the reason for owning a Sharky NFT and harvesting the token that doesn't,
The fishy.
the fishy or the chum or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I get that it's part of the it's part of the slippage in the deals that are made on Sharky, and that they like turn back some of that money to their holders.
Mm-hmm.
But then the amount that it yields versus the historic value of the NFT just didn't add up for me. And plus their long loans, I would never loan against the Sharkies either, because I see people all the time getting wrecked in the loans. So it's just like I really never understood like why I would want to have a bag of Sharkies until like it hit the local bottom recently, and then I grabbed up a couple of them. But it's still, they don't really like they don't really produce anything. I guess if you had like a level 4 one, maybe
yeah.
It's just you kind of said it before with the like comment about the terminology we have.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much education, right? Like from someone who would go from zero to like doing any of this stuff. There's like a whole language involved. It's more than just a few different terminologies, and like it's difficult because you kind of feel stupid when you're doing it. But like I see what you're doing here as a major opportunity. Like you said, turning $7 to 200. That's same thing could be 700 into 10 grand. So it's just a matter of how you deploy and how you study the things, and then your personal, like my conviction in whatever, right? Like I feel like I made my biggest wins when I understood something. Raposa, for instance, like those dudes are just like about making coffee and doing a business. Like I love that, right? Like, dude, tell me why we're funding money, and I get behind that NFT project and be like, go team. Like
yeah.
You don't have to own the business to be like benefiting from the business's success. And I think that's one of the reasons that brought me to what the NFTs in general. Like it's really cool to be able to like team up with people of like interests and be like, I like having my cup of coffee in the morning, and then they add the tech where they're throwing your NFT on and they're just doing cool stuff. Like that's it. Now we're gang.
Yep.
Right? And I knew they were cool too because they were like dropping all kinds of shit in my wallet. These silly like art things and cool NFTs, and it's like, bro, like what more could you fucking want? Meanwhile, these trader degen guys are just like after the squeeze on every product, on every project. It's not, it's like, and I get that too. Shit coins with pictures, but like, some of these things are gonna like pop off.
Yeah. No, and it's one of those things to where you just said it right. The Raposa team killed it out of the park with implementing your own Raposa on your own bag of coffee and stuff, and like just there's cool stuff like that. I don't know, did you get into the primes at all?
No, dude, I'm like I'll be honest with you, right? I work a regular job, like I got a regular business. I do this like part-time. It's a small percentage of my portfolio because again, I know I was like buzzed last night trying to talk about getting drained, but like, dude, that's the whole point, right? Is that like, if you're not exposed to some risk, then you're not exposed to the upside. So like, I do like to do these things that are sketchy, risky, that people have a hard time understanding. But then I don't put a whole lot of time into it. Discord is a fucking job. I do not want to have like more. I already have a team, right? Like I already run a regular business. We produce a product, and like I got a day-to-day, and we, social medias and all that kind of stuff. So then, like, to now add degening or Web3 as another job that was never like for me, so I do it really lazy style. Like I just go, like I hear the elevator pitch. I'm telling you, Taco, like, like that's just it. Like I understood community, I understand cool, I understood like a few other little things, and like I made some not big, like that's silly, but just some decent wins with very limited starting funds, and now I just sit on the bag that I generated, and like play with that, and I've been starting to DCA like some more Solana into my bag, and obviously Bitcoin. Like I'm sitting here, literally like looking at Femojis and Ordy rocks, and like I know these guys are going to blow, but like this shit's expensive, $500. It's a decent portion of my bag. I don't really want to be long. I don't necessarily know if I'm that long on this stuff, but maybe I go to like Liquidium and put loans against this stuff at half of what the floor is now, and hopefully someone defaults, or I just get to make some more Bitcoin. And I'm real kind of conservative that way. And like honestly, dude, even if I won like a Femoji, I still wouldn't like run around Twitter and make a whole job of it. Like I just follow everyone. I would go on some spaces. I would post about it once or twice. But I'm just kind of like, I'm like not a tryhard like that.
Yeah.
And I do, like I told you last night, bro, hell, I respect the fucking grind, dude. Like putting out content like this, educating people, this is the future, right? And like, you're gonna settle into a saddle and be able to fucking crush out of shows like this all the time, and build brand sponsors, blah 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 blah. You already know the roadmap. I don't gotta tell you. But the thing is that I look at myself as like a strong community member. I have my little 2 cents. I don't really get into like the shitty part of everything in the FUD, but I put in my hour or two a day. I like your time slot here. That's why it's just like leaning into when I would be normally clicking around. And then like, in about 40 minutes, an hour, I go to bed and I start my day tomorrow, and I'll listen to a space or two, and I might check the prices in the morning, or my portfolio a little bit. I definitely check the price of the underlying assets. And then like, dude, I check my regular portfolio, and I'm off like trying to maintain my lifestyle, and like this shit would not do it, right? Like I'm not that kind of risk. I don't have that kind of like risk tolerance, like to be able to like afford to make what I make in my salary by doing like gnarly degen plays or trying to force that. I feel like revenge trading has been a thing for me, and like I just stay away from those bad. Like I love what you're doing, bro. Like I seriously, like I don't know it enough, but I've watched some of your past content, and I've been clicking around. I had to like Orca's blocked in Texas, so I had to like turn my VPN on and everything, and just to play with it. But like it's something that like I'd throw 20, 40, 50 bucks at it and play with it, because like you're right. This is just another arm of education. But all that comes with time, my time, and my obviously effort, and then I feel like that's what I was talking about. Like, I know I was super buzzed last night, but I was going through it in my head, like the whole cabal thing.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're the guy now. Like, if I had a question about this stuff, I know exactly and run, right? That's the real education, not what you know. You know, like I could be like, oh, bro, what's the deal on this? And then you might have an opinion about that. And like, that's how I view this whole thing, right? Like, we're all people out here, some anon, some less. And like, dude, you know, like we're building towards whatever that is. Like, and I believe in it in a real meaningful, powerful way. I already build community in my other life, so like this just all fits with that type of stuff that I believe in anyways. So it's like, you know, I don't know.
No, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Just just so you know, the Orca, when you go to Orca, you will get that first for swapping. You will get that not allowed for IP in the US. But if you just go over to their liquidity page, you won't actually need it. Yeah.
So once I just told them I'm from, you know, Albania.
Yeah. For some reason, whenever my VPN is on, my computer thinks I'm in Denmark.
Yeah, there's a place where you can set it to do what you want it.
Yep.
But I mean, I think I have mine set to like the Bahamian region.
Yeah.
But like, I honestly, it's so stupid though how they're trying to gatekeep us, and you know, it's one of the reasons why I love Bitcoin, because that shit doesn't fly on none of the Bitcoin self sovereign custody stuff. Once you're on their page, they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, and then like there's so many avenues for us to learn, right? Like we're learning about your concentrated pools and Orca liquidity, and then there's like all this other stuff that's happening across all these other chains. I mean, look at how ordinals are now like a thing across ETH and Solana. I don't even know anything about that shit. Like, or SPL20 tokens. Like, it's happening so fast. People are making so much money, and you know, like, I try to keep my nose down and just like learn the things that come easy to me, and then you know, maintain my mental health, I guess, because like, you know, it's so, and like there's so much noise. I think we talked about that a little bit last night too.
Yeah.
It's so loud how these, you know, like my Twitter too just gets so like, again, Discord's a grind, Twitter's a grind. If you're not having fun at it, it's more like work. And then, you know, like I just like the idea of all these different opportunities, whether it's, you know, through communities, alpha bullshit, just like growing your brand, your whatever, or whether it's this tech where they're providing liquidity for these different swaps, or if it's, you know, even the, I don't know, have you seen this FOMO thing? Did you jump on that? Did you see that all happen?
Which thing? Which FOMO?
So HGE posted, "Do not send."
Oh,
the 222.
Yeah. The 222 Soul. I did do that. I sent some taco token. I sent some of my own tokens to that. It was Fast Eddie that had posted that like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think I saw it through him. Were you in the Fast Eddie? Is that how I found you? Were you on the Fast Eddie East Trigger show?
I don't know. Man. Maybe it was like a squirrel space. Maybe, yeah.
But no, but like, you know, I sent a little bit of soul, and then I didn't see the tweet, right? And again, just being like a part-time guy, like I literally don't even have my alerts on Twitter, so like things will blow up, and I'm like, what's going on? You know, you're like, oh shit, and sometimes I'll just like, you know, be IRLing or whatever, but yeah, I sent some money to that, and then like so it came out like super hot, but I missed the tweet by a few days, and just like FOMO, you know, like everyone took their bag and went, but it's basically maintaining its Solana value, you know.
Yeah.
And like I really don't even know what to do with it. Like, you know, it's just $40 sitting there, like, you know, DFD. But like,
So the one thing you could do with it, and it like, or like this is what I did with the Bonk airdrop, and this is what I do with a lot of airdrops that don't cost me anything to do. You know, is I'm just gonna call it the $10 for the simple math. I am going to take $2 off the table, and I'll turn $1 into cash, and now I have cash. I have $1 more, and then I'll keep $1's worth of the token, or 10%, over, and I'll put it, that's I'm like moonbag it, and then so now I have 80% left over. I actually will split that in half to whatever it's paired in like in Radium or in Orca, and I put it in. I'll sell half of it for the whatever if it's USDC, I'll sell half of it for USDC, and then I'll pair it together. So now I take that $8 and I stake it, and so now I'm earning a little bit more on the trade. The reason why I do that is because like it was something given to me for free, because I have an NFT, because I retweeted a post, because I posted my address somewhere, or I'm in some community. And so are there people that are going to get their airdrop and then just cash out right away? Yes. Most projects know that these days, so they like wait to deploy things after the paper hands get out. So I get into that liquidity pool, so I can benefit from both sides of the trade, people selling and people buying. And so that's how I turn $7 into 200.
That's some wrinkle brain shit. I love it.
It's the paperclip to a house thought.
Yeah. I mean, to a lesser extent, I think in similar terms. I really do dig the nuance there. About the trade, and then you earn back that token, because that would be the slippage, right?
Yeah.
The token.
Either way, like let's say there's 0.2% trading fee. So if I'm going in dollars, there's a 0.2% trading fee on dollars, so I get that little bit of dollar. If it is they're traveling from token X to dollar, then I get a little bit of the token X. And then if the project incentivizes the pool, then you're earning whatever incentivization as well.
So let me ask you something. If you're earning dollars off of that trade, do you in turn buy back the token to have greater exposure to it, so that in the case of like Bonk, where you have the 1000x, instead of just like collecting the 2% across, or the 0.2% across the trades?
Yeah. It depends. Usually, because like so I just had Orca open. Let me go back to, and I repositioned. Let me go see something real quick so I can show you what I mean, and I'll show you within. So yeah, as you can see on the Orca main page, and trading is not supported in my country or region. But if I just go straight over to the liquidity, then that's where I don't have to turn a VPN on. But let's reload and connect. And so what we'll see here once that loads up, so we've seen with Pith and BSOL have pretty much stayed, and so as BSOL's gone up and Pith has gone up, that pool's just gone up. But if I harvest, so in the last 20 minutes, I've earned 40 cents based off of my yield strategies on these things. That's not a lot, per se, but
Dude,
if
that's
every
any bank is gonna give you. Like honestly, bro, like the thing is about the scale of economy, right?
Yep.
Like you're reinvesting your, that 40 cents works again for you tomorrow. I get it. Like,
Yep.
in a way, especially if you're capable of like earning a living and then putting your excess into these strategies to continue your growth. It's I deploy similar thoughts on in other ways. I just never really was exposed to this.
Yeah, and so like in that there, I got all of the different tokens, and I got like dollars and cents as I harvested all of those pools. Those tokens I'll keep just in case that becomes sort of like my moon bag, in a way. And what I put into here, I'm willing to lose and it go either way and not care, But then I just sometimes I will take that, like since I just harvested, I can go take my earnings in like PEEP, and I can reinvest it back in, proportionately. So I do that, do the same thing, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, because I struggled with it too. Like, I don't know if I said this the other day, but I got my $400 from Bonk, and I was like, "Yo, thank you, magic internet money gods," right? Like,
Yeah.
The fact that would be 20, 30, 90 grand today doesn't affect me in that way because that was like free money. I didn't know why they were giving it out. I didn't know what it did. I had no idea that there was strategies like this for me to like participate in the liquidity pools.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, Solana. Like, what do I want every day? I'm out here grinding for my 1.2 Solana or 1.7 Solana a week right now. So like, what? It's just that easy for me to be like, okay, take my cash and just move on to the next thing. But like, this is the way that like I should have. I mean, honestly, if I would have known back then, I could have done something very similar to this and had a trickle back strategy. Or even like I didn't care that I wasn't desperate for $400. I could have just taken 200 and said magic internet money, and then had a strategy for the other 200, which I didn't do, which is shame on me. But now thanks to you, bro, I'm gonna like try to learn this stuff a little bit more.
Yeah. No, it's like you said, magic internet money. So it's like found money. Like when you find that $5 in your pocket or that 20 in your pocket, you're like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. So you go to the laundromat and there's one stuck to the glass.
Yeah, you're like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing that we're in this space where that kind of stuff happens. And I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you today why I got that, which project it was that I held, or which tokens I was using, or what my activities were that sent that to my wallet. And like it was just it's one of those confirmations. It's like, wow, dude, like that's like I opened up my phone today and my balance doesn't make sense. Like that's tight. Now, did I see that being like an actual thing? Like, no, it was just a silly meme. It was a derivative of a derivative token. Like, what am I supposed to do with that information? So I just took the money and ran. But like, kudos to somebody who dug in and saw or had a strategy for it and like deployed that in a way that like had returns on it, even beyond just like anyhow, it's a good thesis. I support it big time.
Yeah, no, definitely. What's really hilarious is I'm looking back at the 53 million bonk that I was airdropped the day after Christmas, and then all the bonk that I went into the liquidity pools and like 10 million bonk here, I bought with like $13. Or then later on in the year, bought 10 million bonk for $1.50. And then then there was in like August, I sold it all, because I was like, oh, I needed to pay some bills, and I was like, it was free money. And, I got more out of it than I put in. And now I'm like, oh man, that would have been worth, I think I did the math the other day. 50 million bonk was like $1,600.
I mean, that's just torturous math, bro.
Yeah.
Like the idea that your bills were paid from activities, from screen activities, is again, goes to all of my shtick and my spiel about the content economy, about it's like right now, yeah, it's some type of protocol on the Solana, it's a meme, it's a this or that, but you only got it because you were doing shit that was associated with all of this thing that we're doing, which is right now we're like on Twitter playing the worst internet video game there is, right? Our avatars don't even move, but we're assigning each other XP every day. We're determining who's an idiot, who's about the game. There's a lot of people with just hot air. That there's a lot of people who are just all entertainment and no substance. And I think it's important to recognize that, bro, fucking the goal is to pay your bills, right?
Yeah.
Every day. That's I do my regular product stuff to just pay bills. Anything extra is just that. So if I could switch to just whatever it is that we're doing here, that'd be awesome. Can I do that with my lifestyle? No, but I could see a future where this is really good retirement funds, or I mean, I don't really know. I'm too young for that shit, but bro, the idea that there's a literal dude who was minted into a millionaire because of bonk. Fucking bonk, that's just crazy, and also part of the dream. I honestly think that and we talked about all of my favorite subjects last night, but dude, the Pokemon Go thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were just able to do this as move to earn, step in, and you were just going around fucking getting these things, and you don't necessarily need to pay your bills through selling your little Pokemon characters. That's the same thing as farming all this stuff. It costs you nothing but the initial investment. You maybe got an ROI, but you really got a little exercise. You got some grass time. You did something with your kids, and you had fun. And then you got tens of thousands of dollars because it was on Good Morning America a month later, and the high school kids are adopting it. It's it becomes this whole thing. That's what mass adoption looks like.
Yeah.
It's a whole array of things, right? It's the gaming, it's the first person shooters, it's that kind of shit. But realistically, it's when it's on The View, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this fun thing that's it loses all of its bad context. It's not a fucking scam no more. It's associated with IP that's at the highest caliber, and Kathy Lee or somebody is giving you the whole shill. That's when it's too late already. That's when it's just for fun. Everyone got rich doing that. I think that's the why I listen to the spaces and watch the morning shows, and I lean towards your content later at night, because I was just oh, what's this guy doing? Here's dude just talking about some degen shit. Fuck yeah. And I've altered the way that I consume content, and it's all more just backs up my personal thesis on the whole thing, right? Not everyone's entertained by the shit that I'm being entertained with, and you could have a whole community if you were a 70-year-old lady who quilted, You know, seriously, like you could taco quilts could build a huge like group around that, and like that's going to happen in the future, right? Right now, it's still the degen stuff and the things we're all entertained by. But like every narrow path of the rainbow is going to have content creators, monetization, fucking merch, everything associated with that. Like lifestyle just gets more narrower because of the connectivity, because of the tools in this layer. I mean, I feel like I'm ranting.
No, you are 100% on it, and this listening to everything you're saying. So it's not really ranting. It's like saying something and then backing it up. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when you're everything I already do, right? Even if it's amateurish or if it's like even my professional life, it's already like towards branding, towards product placement. It's not like a secret. I invented this thing called the DAB-Right. You can look us up. It's a thing for cannabis. We make basically a thermometer for your dab.
Yeah.
A bendable arm. It's a cool thing. We went like viral. They sell themselves. It's like fun, and we've seen some success doing it, and we have community and we do all this stuff. But in an era before we knew about NFTs or we knew about the tokenization, and I can just see all the ways. It's not for us. Like we're a small company. We're just a consumer electronic product. But like I put out a free NFT we did them like golden ticket style, like Willy Wonka style in our pro launch. The only way to get one was through a golden ticket that you physically found inside of your DAB-Right. It's just a thank you. It doesn't mean anything. It has no value. We didn't no commitments or anything, but it's just fun and people dig it. Like people were trading them and people were buying them with cash. It's just like a weird, but like it goes to everything that I feel about this stuff and like what I was saying about last night about liberty. Right? I wanted to read a comic book and a novel about it. Right? Maybe it still will happen someday. Right? Maybe they'll still have the everything that I thought it was, but like it will. That kind of stuff will happen. Right? Like people will launch successful IPs. People will do things that are for narrower audiences that becomes more and more popular, and like you'll be able to like spot talent in somebody early on, invest in them in some type of way, and like be beneficiary of that growth in that person. I think it's fucking cool. I mean, right now, obviously, scams and all kinds of stuff is rampant in the scene, but it doesn't take away from the potential. And like dude, the founders and the people that I've met in this space are some of the coolest motherfuckers, and they're just smart. And if you just again, the only thing that limits the only limiting factor in NFTs is someone's creativity. Right, like it literally is just that, ideas, internet error, and I made some of my best money off of just ideas. So I believe in it in a big way. Oh, you're making a Franc play?
Right? Yeah. So no, I'm giving away Franc. But yeah, I've been making Franc plays for a while. Yeah.
Same thing. Franc was just the one that couldn't sell for nothing, so I still have it in my wallet.
Yeah.
He took the Franc ride forever.
Yep. I did the Franc Farmers. I think I accidentally scooped up like 3 fake Franc Tads or some shit like that, So
yeah.
But yeah, no, where are we going here? We're 12, we're the 17th now. And
I got like super paranoid after my drain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like dude, I literally have certain, like I have my PFP on cold storage. I'm isolated from all of the different benefits of my PFP. But it's like I literally just went and bought a Walmart throwaway computer,
Yeah.
and that, right. So the similar thing for like when I make my minimum trades on Solana, I have just the ones that I attached to Sharky, and that's it. And then because that's a substantial amount of money that's worth a $300 shit Walmart computer.
Yeah.
But now I need another machine, or I guess I could just be more aggressive on my other machine, but I need something just to play with this type of stuff. I need just put a couple $100 in, move my Franc and my FOMO and my Pepe and my Gloop Glop over to this other thing and try to play this. I really see the value in this. What game were you planning on playing tonight?
Oh, I'm planning on playing some BR1 as soon as I got that done. And so now I got this done. But yeah, Bravo ready.
Shrapnel thing?
So I got into Shrapnel before Shrapnel launched by accident. There was this really cool PFP, or like this little cool NFT collection that had no name. It had no name, and it was on sale on OpenSea. So I grabbed 4 of them and totally forgot about it. I'm like, oh, that looks like that might be cool and might be part of something. And it wasn't until I was at Consensus that I actually met the Shrapnel team as they were playing. And then then they were showing, I played the game and I was watching the video and I was like, wait a second, I recognize that thing. And they're like, wait, how do you recognize it? I was like, I bought it like in like March, and I go through the wallet, and now the metadata has been updated, with a name and everything like that. And now it's animated, and it's those Shrapnel, the Shrapnel power packs. And I was like, yes. So
dude, you had a good eye, man. I was at Consensus. I saw them at Consensus too.
So then if you were at Consensus, then we might have met. If you saw a dude that had a ton of badges all around his neck and a backpack and a backpack that had NFTs on it.
I don't remember running into you. I think I would have remembered that, bro. But we were walking around our little Frenchie, just having a good time.
Okay.
I'm from San Antonio. I'm near there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Consensus was when I knew those dudes were on something. Like the whole like way that they reminded me of what's the damn, why can't I think of these names when I need to? That one shooter, Exit from Tarkov or Escape from Tarkov. Like the whole extraction shooter, like you can steal people's stuff and it becomes in-game assets. Like, I think that's fucking rad. I can't wait to see if that like actually like becomes a thing,
So like this is that thing. BR1. It's on Solana. It's pay to spawn and what's the word I'm thinking of? And get paid to kill.
Okay.
So it's 10 cents to spawn, and then every person you kill gets 10 cents. If you're playing the Dollar Infinite, once they launch their island, if you have one of the NFTs, you get to keep a little bit more. If like you kill someone that has other stuff, you get to collect their stuff, and they have that all in there. And then if I'm able to live for 5 minutes, that's the lifetime timer. Then I can extract with my winnings.
Okay, so you could basically just like run and hide strategy, or you could just be like really aggressive.
Well, yeah, with a run and hide, you got to remember it cost me 10 cents to get in. So if I just go run and hide, then I'm at a loss.
Kill one person.
Kill one person, I'm at a break even. I can go play again. You know.
What is this like rain protocol? What is it? Is this the rain token or whatever?
No, they don't have a token yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they have NFTs. They have the droids and apes.
So you're playing with your NFT right now?
No. I did not get an NFT, and they are. I loaned one, borrowed one once back when. What was the staking platform called? Or that went shut down. Do you remember?
I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and when that shut down, what they had a loan program in there to where you could rent, and then yeah.
They were the same token protocol that was the filth, right?
Yep. That you could stake. They were the same protocol for a lot of people, and that's one of the things that like made me really weirded out. Like, how could you go broke because every time someone claimed, you got a piece of the action. Every time someone staked, you got a piece of the action. And so they had a great platform, just very mismanaged, I think, by the team. And not specifically, not anyone specifically. But
I have a bunch of basis on this theory-wise. First of all, just because you have a good idea doesn't mean you're able to manage a business very well.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in the space, like, the whole bundle thing.
Yeah.
Right? I honestly, dude may have, who gives a shit about this 100 grand? Like, 100 grand is basically a salary, salary for someone who's professional. The thing was that $150,000, right?
Yeah.
He needed that guy. You ever seen that show, Silicon Valley?
Yes.
He needed that dude Jared, right? He needed that like MBA character who takes and that correctly and generates a schedule by which you're going to put out product or content or whatever. Because all these NFT projects are basically just multimedia companies generating content, right? Like whether it's your tweets or your we talk about this again.
Yeah.
I don't need to keep ranting. But the fact of the matter is that like the dude just paid people to dev for him, who honestly took advantage of him as well, right? Like anybody who's getting paid $5,000 for an hour, 2 hours worth of work, when it's literally just a dude contracting, we're not talking about some type of major infrastructure that's doing some type of work for your brand or your business. We're just talking about like a guy who spun up some type of website, like and because he considered himself fancy or an artist as well, they overcharge each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh well, sorry, $400,000 lost, And there's a lot to be said about him releasing that piece of content just a few days. That's really cool because that's like a really shitty move, right? Because honestly, just good content. If somebody was to say, "Oh, my NFT project is we're gonna put out 15-second videos on YouTube. They're gonna be funny, friendly, maybe not friendly at all. Maybe they're gonna be aggressive and blue. Maybe they're going to be, you name the thing, whatever kind of thing you're into. That can actually become a business. That can generate a revenue. If all they did was say, hey, we need to generate $50,000 to live for a whole year and to do these videos, right? but there's not a lot of leadership like that in this space yet.
Yeah.
That person could win so hard if they were like, I'm going to nose to the grindstone, do this thing that I'm talented in. You could be the next Meat Canyon, powered by an NFT project, by your own community, right? And you just have to like quiet out all the voices, all the obnoxious people who are only about number go up, and just continuously, constantly put out whatever it is that you're promising, and that like people get wrapped up in that hype and noise, and like they shit the bed on their projects, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's like a dude's a thief or a rugger or whatever. That just means he's a bad business person. That's common.
Yeah.
I feel like I make good decisions in this space just because I've watched other people do poor attempts at business in other spaces. So I'm talking to people who are like fake it till you make it mentality, and it's once you're attuned to it, it's easy to spot. And I hear it in people that are on spaces, and I just won't fuck with it. It's one of the reasons why I got with Liberty. Right, that dude was just a professional. I could tell, regardless of where he was taking it. Liberty is a dude who had occupied and lived in the professional world, and like he had made money doing a successful type of business. That's it, dude. Most of these things can't even do that, and that's like people want to just blatantly call them rugs. Okay, cool, it's a rug, whatever. You're really not doing yourself any service by not recognizing that like one dude's failure is not a dude who turned off the Discord 24 hours after mint.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, even in the case of that protocol where they literally had a giant portion of the industry. Yeah, dude. Like, they probably just sucked. Like they were really good at dude. Look at the Tensorian guys, or who are the dude? Or not the Tensorian guys. I'm sorry. All these fucking names.
Yeah.
The thing that was like 3 guys in a
Which
garage.
One? I didn't hear you say which protocol.
Friendtech.
Oh, Friendtech. No, Friendtech ended up being a bunch of people, and then
Which one was it? Like one?
I think
it's like a big portion of our industry.
Yeah, Stars Arena.
What?
Stars Arena.
Okay.
And that's that's the thing with Stars Arena is that's what it was supposedly was started by Degen, but then and then involved in some other dirty shit that
I guess I don't pay close enough attention, and but I still like I said, if all we had was from the shit who knew what they were doing and and just could scale their life to the hype, we would have a lot more successful, quote unquote projects, and that's it, right? If and your rent and your income, your bills and all that, then that's okay. Especially if you're, what people are going to recognize as talented. It's when, what's the next layer? Like whoever asked me about any project, NFT, token, even like your thing right now with the swaps, dude, if you could just explain it to me, I'm likely to throw $800 into it. Why not? Right? The same kind of concept. What is it? What the fuck are we doing here with monkey pictures or squirrel pictures or rhinoceroses with dicks on their faces? What is it? And then we go from there. Like, I'm down to team up and lose money along with you, because that if you in the sense of make a product, become self-sustaining, and then maybe give us back little fucking gifts or opportunities. Kick ass, bro. Did you just double those fools?
I did.
Bravo.
That means they're probably gonna come hunt for me, which is gonna be hilarious.
They're paying their 10 cents right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can get on my soapbox with this shit because it's things I've been thinking about the whole year during the bear, while people were like literally chewing their legs off to stay alive because they were, you know, overexposed or you know, they just had no conviction to begin with, and that's another thing too. How you know, basic speculation is not like an all-around just awesome thing, especially when there's, you know, there's nothing behind it. That's just how people are getting wrecked. And like, you know, I feel bad for people who fall for that trap, but you know, again, I would do nothing that, you know, my overall bag by more than, you know, 5% to anyone's sketchy sector. It's just crazy that people have their houses, more than their houses, on a ledger.
Yeah. No, well, see, and that's the thing, though. If we're trying to become self-sovereign banks, then this is going to be... dang
it. Yeah, I mean, dude, what you're doing with these pools is a very important part of that process, too.
Yeah. Now, what we hear, like the sad things that we hear about, you know, protocols that had a contract 2 years ago that someone interacted with, you know, is now been corrupted and being and draining people. You know, it's like, one, you know, someone was like, Von Doom responded. He was like, you know, if, you know, the reason why this is not coming along for mainstream is because if you go to a coffee shop 2 years ago and they try to like overcharge you now, well, that's the same thing as an open credit card authorization. You know, that happens a lot. You know, you hear people like tourists getting like, you know,
they do it with part of the credit card.
Yeah, you know, open credit card authorizations. You know, and that's why you close your bills when you leave, you know, and that's why they tell you not to leave anything open and like all of that stuff.
In my area,
Yeah.
where some lady had on a Subway, she had accidentally tipped $5,000.
Yeah.
$5, and the manager wouldn't give her money back. So that, you know, something else is, I don't know what's going on with it, but it, you know, you're absolutely right. I mean, dude, look at the people that lost their apes just yesterday or today, right?
Yeah.
Was the news today? Like,
yeah. And that was
like,
that.
Like this, you know. Did you see all that stuff from Zach XBT where the guy's holding him ransom? He's gonna pay him, get him all back. Yeah,
you know, some kid, you know, like that, you know, did exploited the exploiter, you know.
Yeah, I love the language. It's like, I am not a hacker. I am scrubber.
Yeah. Yeah. My skill not good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's so deep in the tech of what it is to be scammy. They're like, I don't even know what he's talking about. Like, okay, good for you. You scrub. You found hundreds of apes. What the fuck, dude? That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever. But yeah, man, it's very scary. And you're right. Like the thing that just happened with Ledger, all that stuff is going to affect the adoption, you know, whatever. And I think that there's a good lesson from all the Bitcoin guys too, which is the whole main reason why I'm like extra hardcore about my offset.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, dude, if you have an asset that's worth, call it like $5,000, or assets exceeding $5,000, to pay 2 or 3% to store it and to maintain it is not an insane thing. If you have a masterpiece of art, there's major associated costs. If you own a house, there's major associated costs with having a house, especially if it's a rental. So, the idea that there would be costs associated with your ownership of these assets and protecting them, I think is part of it.
Insurance, it
does suck to think that you would need all what you thought was very safe with your ledger, and meanwhile some ledger employee gave himself a back door and was able to just like drain you because of some gap that
yeah. No, and the ledger thing sucks because it wasn't just ledger took the news, the news of the day, but it wasn't just it was a standard operating procedure on how like things were checking for upgrades or updates, and so there was multiple protocols that made the news but Ledger took the day, because the one thing that like I told someone else the other day that Ledger is horrible at is PR, press release, and information education on like what they're doing and how they're doing it. They are just 100% horrible on. And I don't know if it's a cultural thing, if it's just hey, they're just we're so up there that no one else, we can say whatever the heck we want type of thing.
Corporate hubris.
Yeah.
It is. They're the leader, bro. They're the ones that have all this, that do all the sales.
Yeah, but where else? Like, heck, mom and dad, grandma and grandpa can go get their hands on a Ledger at Best Buy. That is the closest we're gonna get for right now to mainstream safety.
Mom and dad are also not like sitting there with like multiple different clicks. They don't have to move. Mom and dad are just grabbing up a couple $1,000 worth of Bitcoin or for that point, you just like put that ledger in a drawer, let the battery die.
Exactly.
And just hold on to the seed phrase. It won't. Nothing will happen. Damn, they got you, bro.
He's not. He rocketed me. I was out of the shadow.
Yeah, that's it. But it is something. Like I said, the Bitcoin dudes, the OMB guys, are hardcore. They're like cold storage wallets that are literally the SIM card was in a computer for seconds just to get just to give it a address.
Yep.
And then they send stuff there, and there's no way out, right? And
yep.
This way, black hole until they need access in, and that's it. So they're all like laser eyes. They're all holding forever. So they just have it compartmentalized, and then there's the degen percentage, and I do dig that approach to the game. Like I said, I got some emojis up on my page right here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the FOMO. I feel like these 10K collections or these sub 10K collections on Bitcoin. Even the sub 10K, that's like $1,000. That's pretty gnarly.
There's some cool there. I think I saw something on Magic Eden coming up for some new ordinal launch as well.
We talk about that at all last night?
No.
Yeah, so they're a 10K or a 5,000 piece collection on Bitcoin. But what the cool thing that they're doing is, in essence, they're teamed up with Luxor, and every hashling can own its own mining rig, like an A6 K19 Pro. Basically a $2,600 or $3,000 mining machine that you get for like $2,000 because they're buying them wholesale.
Yeah.
And then your your hashling will actually represent that rig. So if you sell your hashling, you also sell the rig. So there will be hashlings with and without rigs. And then your hashling just earns to its taproot address.
Okay.
So if you just want to be exposed to Bitcoin mining on a larger scale, plus they're in a state that's pro mining, they're like $7 kilowatt hours. They're just like, in my opinion, they have a really cool setup, and they're like all doxed people. It's all American company. This isn't like this isn't your average rug. And the art's pretty cool, original, front-facing, kind of an interesting character, but like it'll be on Bitcoin. I don't know if they're doing anything cool with the Satoshis, but the idea that like you have an NFT that's a miner. And by the way, Taco, if you want to pull your funds from your miner from the hashling,
yeah,
you can claim your miner at the end of the mining cycle. You'll be able to either have your miner sent to you, or you'll be able to sell it with the group to another party. And it's just like a really cool shit that they're doing for that. And then we'd go into another phase, or whatever the new roadmap would be. I don't know what that'll be, but they've got a plan out until 2021. And I for one think it's cool. They came out on Solana, and if you saw it early and got on Solana, you got one. Then it was pre-sale. They sold out in pre-sale, and so now they're just waiting for the meme pool to come down in price so that they can get all the little guys on chain, and then they'll be airdropped to our wallets. But some of us are already like allocating funds for our miner, so our hash will come out swinging already mining. Even to the fact that we have to pay for our own electricity, right? We have to pay that 7-cent kilowatt hour, which comes out to like $150 a month.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like you're the actual owner of you. So it's not a share. It's not a mining pool. You're the owner of your rig and what the rig generates.
Nice. So hopefully you're generating more than that 150 a month.
Yeah, either that or you're after a DCA strategy into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right? So if it doesn't matter whether you're at 150 or if you're only generating $100, but your idea is Bitcoin number go up over the next, or even like there's all kinds of talk in the Discord about the halving.
Yeah.
And what I think will happen is that it will be profitable, and people will want to get in late, and you'll be able to sell hashlings at a premium with and without their rigs on them. So I think that's what a lot of the people are. Some of these guys are holding like 150 pre-sale spots, so they're definitely going to be dumped in bags, I think.
Yeah.
But a couple of these guys already have like 50 rigs, or are aiming for 50 rigs. It's pretty impressive what these guys have done from a Solana base of like a hot minute ago, almost a year.
No, there's so many cool builders that like build on Solana and do things elsewhere as well, and don't have a problem with it. It seems like it's only when you get like elsewhere that you start hearing, oh well, once you're here, you can't go anywhere else. That type of mentality.
I mean, I feel like Bitcoin has a lot of the original people are Solana. And the Solana heads were just a little more hungry and recognize something new happening, and that like a lot of them are like maximalists now too. As silly as that sounds, but like they literally now you're just waiting down the clock, huh?
Yeah.
That's the play, bro. I love it. So yeah, those dudes are like willing to experiment and willing to, grind into a new chain. Because I know that like most of the Solana people come from ETH, and we're like, bro, why does it cost me $20 to move $40? And that just is so stupid. I never understood it. Like for me, it was like it erased the potential from ETH, and I'd much rather just be quick and nimble and learn about the things on salamis.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah, no. There we go. All right. See, that's the one thing that sucks with extraction. You can't move. So, like, even if I wanted to be out in the open and, like, running around, I couldn't do that. Like, if I wanted to play it rough, and, like, just, like, ride the devil and, like, run around down Death Alley, you just can't. You have to stand still for 10 seconds once that's...
Did you break even right now from the 2 other losses?
I'm plus, because I had, there was one I got killed. The next one I killed double, and then I just killed 3 here. So
you don't have to wait for extraction to get paid. You got a bonus for getting extracted.
Yeah. Yeah. So even if I get killed, I still get what I killed. Keep what you kill.
Do you ever watch? Do you game much? Do you ever play Rust?
I don't play Rust. I haven't heard of Rust.
Dude, so I don't play either. I don't really. I don't do a lot of the Steam stuff. I'm not like I'm like a boomer, bro. I don't really do the games. I slow response speeds, and anyhow, Rust though, I love the game because of the content on YouTube, right?
Okay.
But you should just take a moment and check it out someday when you have a little bit of time to kill. But like basically, it's a survival game, first-person shooter. But you start with a rock on a beach, and then the game goes in wipes, so you can play for like 30 days. Right, where you turn your machine off and your character is still alive in game, and you can get raided, and your all the infrastructure you build to bring your character to the point where you can start shooting and start taking over other characters, and it's a very complex, interesting social game that like I feel like needs a layer of Web3 in it, and like I watch a lot of just these content creators on Rust getting millions of views. A lot of that viewership is not from hardcore Rust players, right? It's just people who are entertained by it. A lot of times these guys can just like troll and have a really good time, and then like the really talented players obviously are interesting to watch, but it's not like watching Fortnite, which is very confusing for a non-player. They're putting up all these walls, and they're building, and they're taking shit down, and like you don't know which angles the characters are coming in from. In Rust, it's like a totally different vibe where it's a little bit slower, but these people are living like Second Life in there, from like a caveman to a zombie apocalypse. It's just a fascinating game that I think has legs, and from the standpoint of just like interesting content, it's something that I can like put on and just fall asleep to or whatever. But again, YouTube monetizing, these dudes are making bank, literally not showing their faces, just playing a fucking survival game online.
Yeah. There's a new survival game that's getting ready to launch. Oh my gosh. I don't remember what it's called. It's basically influencers survival. Like horror movie, horror game. Like you're a YouTube influencer and you're like going and doing investigation or something like that, or I don't remember what it is, but you got to like, it's weird. But they've shown some just screenshots and some like tiny little intro movies to it, and it's really cool. I like it. So it might be something be really cool to look into once it comes up, and if I could remember what it is off the top of my head. Yeah. I'll have to look for that. What is that? Ooh.
It just goes to the whole idea that like the next big, like, bro, one thing that we can be certain of is that Web3 or crypto hasn't had its Mark Zuckerberg moments yet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that is coming. Like, you know, dude, I don't know how old you are, bro. You look like you're mid-20s or whatever, but like you might not be old enough for this. But like, I remember when the iPhone first came out. Do you know the iPhone wasn't popular for like 5 years, right? It wasn't an instant success. Okay, the dudes who mattered, like the Wall Street motherfuckers, like my dad, right, did not want to give up their Blackberries. Why? Why? It's the stupidest reason. You can't even give me this fucking reason today. It wouldn't even click in your brain. It's because their QRTY clip keyboards had buttons.
Yep.
And they didn't think that touchscreen could be sensitive enough for them to fire off the emails and the texts that they have to fire off as quickly as they got. They were trained. There was a whole generation of assholes trained on clicky button fucking Motorola phones.
Yep.
Right? So it took 4 years for them to see their friends doing this and be like, oh shit, it is better. Oh, you can just look at a full website? You can Zoom? Oh my god, this is it. And then iPhone 4 was the justification for being able to like jump ship. And it wasn't until that happened that like the fucking Blackberries would get killed.
Yep.
So like the same thing is happening now, and like eventually everyone else is gonna be like, oh wow, you don't need the banks and the government and all this other shit. And oh, guess what? Even like my company, we can corral all of our weirdos in one space and like really concentrate the value that we get from our most fervent collectors. Like all that's going to come to this space, and you know,
greetings from Mars.
It's not if, it's when, right? Like that's the whole point. You know, that like there was a time where even the iPhone wasn't a foregone conclusion, but you know, we all know now, right, that like it was clear
life
no
can
piece of
spring
glass
from the unexpected.
with a full screen
Catherine
is the
LaPointe,
and like
at your
it's
service.
ubiquitous now. And so like it's just kind of silly to me that there's resistance, but like, you know, I said this on a space the other day, it got a good reaction. You know that like cars, right? If you go back to like the first cars, they weren't in America, they were in England. And you know, they regulated cars to the ground. You know, to drive a car, you had to be a rich asshole because you had to have a driver, you had to have an engineer, and a flagman for the car.
Mm-hmm.
Not back at home. It had to be with the car, right? Who did that? What, right? The lobbies for the horse people, the guy who sold horseshoes, the guy who sold the tackle and all the leather works and the fucking carts and the buggies, and all the people were going to be out of jobs because this car. So they had to find jobs. They had to make up bullshit jobs just to keep these dudes like employed. What they thought, like, oh, this is going to be the downfall of society because of that. Like, you know, same thing with what they're saying about AI. But like, you can't resist progress, right?
Yeah.
They did the same thing to the TV with the radio guys. Were the more powerful lobby, right? Radio was in charge. They regulated the shit out of TV, and eventually we ended up with Howard Stern and Comedy Central and fucking South Park, and now like in fact like Instagram made Camel Show the new cleavage, right? So like, where is society going? What is the trajectory for this type of shit? And like, that is what we're doing now. We're like in that sharpened edge, the bleeding tip of the spear.
Yeah. No, so I appreciate the thinking I'm that young. I'm double that.
Let's take a closer look.
You know, I remember when phones came with suitcases, and you know, pulling out the Motorola brick. I remember the transition to Palm Pilot. You know, So that was a fun piece there. What is this?
Yeah, I'm 81, bro. I'm 81. I was born in 81.
Okay. Yeah. Right after that. So yeah, no, it's there's a let's see. We're gonna do this.
You have to Saved by the Bell brick phone.
Yep. So the brick phone was an annoying thing, but when I had a big transition early on from Nokia to Samsung, that was my transition that I found hard because nothing beat pressing three times to write out H.
We should move.
Yeah. I had a Motorola Razr, and I thought it was a badass.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when it dropped from $500 to $99 and how mad everyone was that had bought it like the day before, because it was always flying off shelves like hotcakes.
Let's get a closer look.
What's funny, I don't know, have you seen that there's a ton of the Saga phones on like Craigslist right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's hilarious.
We were calling it last night, bro. They just you could just mint some cash real quick.
Yep.
And you either had like a little tablet for your Wi-Fi, or you could just have a spare phone, or you could just sell it for literally $100, and someone would come up.
Yep.
Now, do you have to get all new wallets for that Saga phone? Because that dude is in your shit deep, right?
Well, yeah. All you got to do is reset it. All you got to do is reset the safe on it, and you're good.
Do you have a Saga phone?
I do not. I was supposed to get one during the Solana Hacker House in New York. I was trying to win a competition, and a guy that was supposed to be helping me took the win for himself. And so the way I'm trying to win one right now is with the Soulflare Soul Scout mission.
What's that?
So that one is we got Cryptic too. That one is using Soulflare's MetaMask Snap-on, or not Snap-on, but Snap, to be able to use Soulflare with your MetaMask, so you can interact with Solana with your MetaMask only.
Interesting.
And they have a little journey and everything on it.
What's up, Taco?
What is up, man? How are you doing?
Doing good. Just
or against us.
I'm like, dang, I don't want to sound cocky, but damn, I don't got one. I got two of those bitches.
Yeah.
Did you get the farm for the bonk? Yeah, I already got it. Oh wow, I got it before. I got the phone like a way different reason, and then it was just crazy how like everybody went buying them, and then they got sold out. I was like, what? So that was like surprising news when I heard that. Like, that's crazy.
Get off my shit.
Dinosaur in it?
Let's get a closer
and
look.
I don't know. They had those dinosaurs in it, and they say like it's just one in each phone. I couldn't get that. Like I don't know what went. I didn't know how to like redo that thing, but it was not believable. Like I couldn't do that. And there was like I think there was so many of them that you could redeem because it was an early promotional thing.
Are you hurt?
You know, I get you, bro. Because like sometimes they make that shit a little too hard for I don't know, for me anyways. I'm just like your average fucking look here, right? So like sometimes it's like you gotta be either super fast fingers or you gotta like have a bot, or you gotta like know the guy who tells you how to walk you through it in the moment. Because like yeah, there was only like a couple thousand of those Clanosaurs anyway. So
Yeah.
once you claimed, you were locked out. It didn't matter.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. Let's go see how many.
Those things were not that appealing to me anyway. I really didn't have too much like care for them. They were like dinosaurs, cool, but like really like me willing to go get them, like it wasn't appealing enough to care. Like I really didn't care about that.
Yeah, there was 2,000 of them.
Oh.
Bro, I care about the 20 salamis that those things are worth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Taco made a good point, especially like last night, dude. If you just got all those assets from that phone and then just held on to today, you basically got paid like $2,000 plus to get yourself a phone.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You got paid 2,000 plus a phone.
Because it's the Call Taco one right there.
Yep.
Well, that's what happened. That's what happened towards me on the first phone. So when I bought the first Solana phone, it wasn't for airdrops, not at all. That was not even like closely remorse of what pulled me to the phone. I just decided to get another phone, but it was more integrated to a different blockchain, and I started to see all these other cool things. There was like 30 million bonks on one, and I was like, okay, cool, this is pretty neat. And then I started playing with it, and I started noticing that bonk was going crazy on the phone. And at first, I was tripping out. I was like, is it me, or is it like, just like that? Is this coin really moving that much? And I got like a bunch of like tokens. So at first, I got like around, I probably pulled all that thing like about $250 off the beginning. And then I was like, man, like that's really good. Like the phone is paying for itself. Then I got myself another phone, and this is before it got sold out. This was like a week and a half, about 2 weeks. But then I was noticing that there were so many other things that you can get for free, and it was in value. So, and I found something else that has more value too on top of it. Let me tell you that. So anyway, I got the other phone. The phone's already paid off because of the bonk and everything, and it's taking it. And I was like scratching my head. I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe this stuff. And then, sure enough, I think I was talking about it in a couple of my spaces a lot, and people just went crazy, went buying the bullshits. They thought they heard the concept because they're seeing paid. People start going up, buying them out. But the other thing I noticed about the phone that I thought it was very unique, because Taco, I gotta tell you this, Taco, thank you, because the last time I came in this space, I didn't know any better, and you broke it down to me, you gave me some good facts and some good knowledge, and after that knowledge, oh man, I really changed. I did a 180. I gotta tell you, Taco.
Tell me. What smart thing did I say?
So you were saying how the network itself of Helium Network got partnered with T-Mobile.
Yep.
And when I heard about that, I thought like you were bugging. I thought you were talking about your ass. I'm like, they partnered up with T-Mobile, because when the phone came out, this is the thing when the phone came out, when I received it, that was not in it. It was in like the special location. You can get this deal, and then that kind of like deal with the phone wasn't able yet.
Yeah.
So I started looking at it, and I started deep diving of what Helium Network is, how they make profit, how they can like expand. Man, that company is something else. And I really believe that Helium is it. I like the way that technology is being built by like Laura and Laura Owan.
Yep.
It's technology of how they use with mapping and T-Mobile and how they collect data. It's so easy because you can literally build your own thing, or you could buy one that's pre-made. But the way they're integrating this is like echolocation dolphin technology.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like thinking in my head, it's like, so if that's the case, and if they're building the tech, they're building the software is very, very strong, that I was like seriously like, man, I need to buy myself a hotspot, and then that's what I did. I bought myself a helium mobile hotspot.
Nice.
For that, I bought that as well. And then what was this other thing? Is the phone. This is another feature of the phone that I did not know. So when you because there's the chip, they can give you now it's $20. You're right. The $20 plan that it's all around the country. The cool thing is they offer this thing in the plan that you can pay for it, or you don't need to pay for it at all.
Yep.
So the phone becomes a homing beacon, a sensor. So the technology that they use for the helium network is embedded within the phone.
Yep.
So when you walk around, do what you gotta do, following that, it's mapping out the structure of where you at. It's picking everything we can find. So if you ever watch play that game Watchdog, game he's able to hack and he's getting all the signals on his phone. That's basically the phone was doing. Basically, you walk around, it's picking all this, it's pinging anything it can, and when the end of the day, it gives you so many mobile tokens, and that mobile tokens can be converted into helium.
Yeah.
And then, or the phone can the payment for the phone, because it's $20, they could take those $20 off the helium of mobile tokens. So technically, it's an unlimited phone. It pays for itself. So
that's tight. That's fucking tight.
Yeah. Now I was like scratching my head. I was like, this is bizarre. Like, this is wild. If and this is where I kind of get back to the marketing on the phone. If somebody really took the time and explained this when it comes to marketing, and people would have bought this long time ago. Would have been sold out long time ago. Because the software itself, when it comes to the mapping and homing beacon and the IoT technology, with internet and everything, and it's installed with the phone itself and how it's connected to everything.
Yeah.
Well, the phone is roughly the phone roughly costs more than $1,000 if you're using specs and you're using the tech right.
Cryptic. How's using the phone itself? Is it a good phone?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. The cool thing is you have the so there's options on the phone. I think it's a little bit cool. So like how regular phones, you go on T-Mobile and stuff like that, like a regular provider. When you pay them, they still take in all the information you have in your phone and they sell it to third parties. So when you go into like a general area, they can tell you, oh, this is what you like, and this is what they have here, and this is right there. Or you're in that general location, that third party stuff come back. So it's always ads and revenue they get from the third party stuff. So the cool thing off the phone, it takes that away. It just strips it down to the most limited amount. So you don't need to sell that data. You don't sell that data. That data belongs to you. What else is? And I think that's another reason the phone pays you, because you're roaming around, you're walking around and stuff like that. They pay you for that. But then third parties, the companies are actually paying for the phone services on the regular providers.
Yep.
The phone itself is pretty bulky, really solid thing. Feels pretty well bit. I normally put I do my thumbprint on this Google Pixel 6 I have on the front screen, but the back one's not bad. It's pretty cool. The camera's really good. The neat thing about the phone that you can make NFTs off the fly. So you could take pictures and convert them to NFTs right there and then. That's just a really sweet thing to do off the phone. What else you could do with the phone? There's two different SIM cards on the phone, and because the phone is unlocked from the get-go, so you can literally, if you're going out of the country like that, just slap another SIM in there, and you're okay.
I'm sold. Taco, what did you? Thank you, bro. Cryptic, you got me on that shit. You said you saw them on Craigslist going for less, right?
I didn't see what I saw them going for. Let me go look on. But someone had said that they're on Craigslist now.
Dude, maybe eBay too. I'm gonna go check out eBay and see if I can.
Oh hell no! I saw the video right now. That shit's like about $2 a page. That shit's crazy.
Yeah. Let's see.
You can get one for just a few $100 because someone took the bonk out of it and just is dumping their phone. Like that would be cool.
This is like even if they take a bonk out, the phone still pays for itself.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like, you know, if they've already gotten a positive on their investment, so if they only want like a few $100 and it's, you know, you can get one for like next to nothing, like that would be definitely worth having just for, you know, like you said. I kind of really want to see the UX UI on it, but in the same breath, like you said, just being able to use it for the helium hotspot thing and like generating a return or an even just yeah, exactly.
So it looks like right now, some that are saying unclaimed bonk, they're trying to sell them for like 11,000, 9,000, 2,300. Yeah, it's sort of funny.
Is the unclaimed bonk one is just a scam?
I don't, you know, it's a picture. Someone has a picture of a phone, but they have a picture of it. They're saying it's unopened. You know, looks sealed still. So, they just bought it for comes with unclaimed box, sealed in box, $2,700.
It still has its original claimosaur in it too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm 1 o'clock where I'm at.
Yep.
I'm gonna call it myself. Thank you, Taco. It's been a pleasure to chat with you again. This time, less Gary V wine on board. I think it was the recipe. And Cryptic, bro, love your style. Big follow. I'll be seeing you around in this shitty video game we call X.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Have a good one.
We're gonna. Good night. Well, we are gonna call it a night as well, as we've been going for a little over 2 hours now. It has been a.
You should have sent me a message or something. I would have totally come to your space, dude. You have so much good insight.
Man,
a lot of people that I talk to,
yeah,
don't know yet. So whatever you're getting yourself into, what knowledge you're getting, and you're kind of browsing through the web. Like a lot of the people that I talk to currently don't know that. So whatever you're doing, you're doing great. You're doing an amazing job. So that's why I'm saying, like, the next time you make a space, hit me up, because I love chatting with you, and because you do see things in a totally different light, and I enjoy that.
Well, hey, thank you, Cryptic. Yeah, no, hey, I don't even know when I was supposed to do this show. Who knows? I didn't even start it until 11:55 p.m. Like I say, consistently inconsistent, but daily. Yeah.
Well, man, whenever you have a chance, man, hit me up, man. I will sit down as an audience and listen to you. Because sometimes whatever you spill out, man, it's just like sometimes you're just like throwing gems at me. I'm like, oh my goodness, let me get my back catch.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for the praise. Thank you, man. Words mean a lot. But yeah, no, since we're ending out, we're going to end this episode as we end every episode. I want to do a huge shout out to everyone on LinkedIn, Xerox Degens YouTube, Player One Taco YouTube, Twitch, Twitter video, Unlonely, Rumble, Kick, and Telegram. And those that have been joining us up on stage on Twitter. This has been TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode 484. And as we end every episode, words of wisdom and the best, worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet that I have said the same joke 483 times. And Cryptic, since you are up here, you get to have some final words of wisdom, final thoughts, man.
Keep your mind open, keep exploring, and never stop learning.
All right.
And with that, I end that with that.
Nice. I do want to shout out to It's Bermuda for joining, Guru, Rex, Mojave. I see you all. Thank you so much for joining the space on video. This has been a fun thing. And as always, my words of wisdom are closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity can never come a knocking. If opportunity does come a knocking and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. And with that, shout out and love to Liam. We end with the greatest, worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet. Knock, knock.
Who's that?